Previously, two software engineers who worked in big tech and trading decided to make a startup together. After trying different ideas, we settled on building PearAI, an open source AI-powered code editor. Shout out to my co-founder Nang. He just quit his $300,000 a year high-frequency trading job to work on this full-time. In the last episode, you saw how we came to this idea, and now you'll see exactly what our idea is and the struggles of us building it. If you enjoyed the series, leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
I personally use AI a lot in my workflow, and I think a lot of people don't know how to do it. Like, they don't know how to incorporate AI into their workflow, their coding workflow, their product design workflow, any of these things, ideation. So the ultimate goal, I like to call it, is to reduce the time from idea to conception, right? So if you have an idea in your head, you want it to realize into reality as soon as possible. And you need these things, these tools to reduce friction between thought in your head and how it comes to reality.
She gives me loving like I ain't ever had. Toss me to the curb like a dirty dish rag. Say, boys, it's juice worth the squeeze.
I met up with some engineer friends during Dim Sum Sunday, as well as another startup founder, Jason, who told us about his experience building his YC venture capital-backed startup, as I asked him about the pros and cons of getting funding versus bootstrapped. Currently, we're of the mind we don't need funding as we have savings to fund ourselves, but if traction really picks up, then we might need more money to hire people. He told us that getting funding is a sales game, making VCs have FOMO about your startup and looking like the hottest girl in the room, which I think I may have experience with. Thankfully, we don't have to play this game right now, but I'm sure the time will come. As for our previous YC interview, they reached back to us telling us that they want us to reach out to them a month later to show our progress, because we don't have enough progress right now. And I think that's fine, but like I just said, I don't think we really need funding right now. So we'll see what happens.
Alright, today is Tuesday and I just finished work. I came all the way here to WeWork to meet up with Nang once again, so we can do some startup stuff together. We have a lot of coding to do, especially at the beginning stages. It's mostly coding stuff. We want to get the project up and running so you guys can participate correctly in your documentation, all of that. Yesterday, I also saw the OpenAI demo. They released the GPT-4o, faster responses, and there's real-time responses, so you can interrupt them GPT in the middle of it talking to you. We're able to integrate all of this into a pretty decent user experience. So there's like a good part of building something that is GPT related, where it's on the forefront of things, it's new, it's exciting, it's useful. But there's also a disadvantage where you are very reliant on these big models that you don't really control, right? We don't really control GPT, Claude, or Llama, any of these things. So, they can give like updates, big announcements like this that could potentially kill startups. Hopefully we're gonna be fine because we are already building on the presumption that the models are going to get better.
Are you at home today?
So I'm going to end up off. I bet, right?
I don't know, but like maybe not.
Right now we have set up the repository, we have set up admin roles, different maintainer, contributors, whatever. Nang's working on documentation right now. So we're really just thinking, what is the minimum viable things we need to do before we can release it open source for you guys? Instead of going to WeWorks nowadays, we just go to this building and we work here because it's just the vibes are nicer when you're with friends. So it's about 12:30 a.m. right now and I just left. So right now the game plan is probably like every weekday or 4 out of the 5 weekdays. We meet up around Midtown Manhattan or like this building or somewhere around here and we just work on a startup. Nang just quit his job. Nang just quit his job, bro. So he's gonna work on this full time. It's actually crazy. Congrats to him. out here in Adam's basement. Yeah, there's a lot of problems, a lot of fires we need to put out. You know, some stuff are not working. People are like downloading the repository and it's not compiling on Windows. We don't have Windows. Why are you guys using Windows? Buy a Mac. I'm kidding. Hopefully things will be good. Tomorrow I'll be streaming. First stream where I reveal a lot of these things. So hopefully by the time you guys see this vlog, a lot of these things will be fixed already and you guys will be able to work on it. We need a good CI/CD pipeline because right now if you guys contribute code, we don't really know if it's breaking the rest of the code base. But yeah, we'll get stuff fixed. Yeah, we saw some fans earlier and they gave us some rosé.
Yes, they were in love with Pan.
They were in love with Nang though. They loved him.
They looked at me once, glanced over to me, and decided to.
And they gave him rosé.
They decided to only talk to Pan. They didn't even give me a cup. Look at this. And then I am responding to people having issues. While
Customer support.
Pan got rosé.
Yo, shut the.
Long-term mission. So what we're building is a layer on top of that. So we're gonna use their foundational models and build an environment on top of that. Like if you imagine 10, 20 years, 30 years from now, coding is gonna look entirely different. And we have to think about this in the future. Whatever we're building here with PearAI, it has to evolve with these foundational models.
Some walking view. Today is Tuesday. This Sunday was my first stream announcing the debut of this project, PearAI. The stream went very well. You guys were super enthusiastic, whether it's contributing to the project or just wanting to use the product. I showed what we have so far. Why do we even do this? Because first of all, it's the perfect product for us as founders because we work on developer tooling at the companies we work at, and it's a product that's perfect to be open source because it's a developer tool. So the people who work on it, you guys and us, we use the product ourselves, so we know best what's for the product. And then on top of this, we are the perfect people to make this open source because we have an audience already. And finally, you can be part of this transformation by contributing to Pear. I also saw a lot of comments on the previous videos like doubting, what about Copilot? What about this? First of all, the fact that there's competitors means it's a good thing. People want to use this. There's a market for this. Second of all, every one of these products are using the same foundational model. It's all the same underlying. We're building a layer on top of these foundational models. The best editor is going to be the one that has the best UI UX experience. And by infrastructure, I also include the way Codebase is indexed, right? How the Codebase is chunked down into pieces so that the retrieval is made in such a way where relevant information are retrieved to answer the prompts you're asking it. So you can talk to your Codebase the best way possible.
He is now unemployed on my couch.
And I'm sleeping over at LIC tonight.
Yeah, he's sleeping over once again. Please. Now we gotta figure out some action items, right, for today.
Alright, so here's what PearAI currently looks like. By opening it, you can press Command+L to open the chat panel on the right side. You can also pick which model you want. So you can use our server that will host for you, or you can use your own local models, or even your own API key. Here you can also select a portion of code, and by pressing Command+L, it'll port it directly to the right side chat panel. So without having to copy or paste anything. And then you can directly prompt it, and it'll give you an answer right away. You can also do Command+I on a portion of code to do inline prompting. So as you can see here, I ask it to turn it to print 1 to 10, and it'll do that and also suggest the changes which you can accept or deny. I accept it here. It's a pretty simple change here, but it works for more complicated stuff as well. You can also go on the command palette and type in pair to see all the possible functions that is inside right now. And there you go. Beautiful.
Obviously, you want to contribute to PearAI. If you want me to make it even more clear for you guys, this is why. So there's 3 main categories: fulfillment, practical, and the fun. We're gonna make sure people have eyeballs on PearAI, on all of your contributions. You're not just coding into the void. People will actually be using this. It's also good for your resume. If you want to gather this as an experience, all contributions are public. And lastly, it's fun, bro. It's fun, active community, you get to work with us, and everyone that is working with us, we got like from very seasoned developers, like shout out to this guy called Ender, but I think he has 16 years of experience. Like that's crazy. All the way to like students, and also we're thinking about giving discounts and free merch to contributors.
Yeah. What are you talking about? Your PhD's here.
Yeah, no, I
chose CMU.
Like the foundational models, everyone's using the same, right? It's only on the layer on top, which is UI UX, and how do you like chunk down the code base.
What's your ideal process from a UI perspective to get that code from 75% right to 100%? What would be the ideal experience would you want to create?
It's sort of like a GitHub diff, right? So you can see the diff in your code, and you can press accept to accept it, or refuse and it removes it, or you can make changes. So you have to like review it as a human, and then you have to run it to see if it runs. I think this is already like super good to have this. The next step is probably having it run itself and see if it can run.
Today is Sunday. I'm in my room right now. There's a party happening outside, as you guys just saw. It's quite loud, but I need to do some work, so I'm doing some work here. I know it's a little bit weird, but I like doing work when there's like a party. It makes me feel like I'm not alone. Today we did a town hall, and on stream a lot of people came in, and there was a major discovery where we found a different open source repository called Continue, and they are also open source, right? They have a VS Code extension that is really good, bro, like a really good AI. I think we have to use it, and I think with this we're very close to having parity with current competitors. Once we have parity, we can then focus on more interesting features and next steps.
Drinking coffee at 11 p.m.
Today we celebrate parity with our competitors.
Yo.
Nang was able to integrate the new repository within our PearAI app.
Right now our AI chat is pretty much like up to parity with competitors, so it's very good news, very good news. This guy is apparently really good at golfing, so we're gonna see this in real life.
It's been about 2 weeks now since Nang quit his job. I still haven't quit mine, but I've been able to see the difference already. Even though I work on Pear every night after my job, it's still different from being able to work on it first thing in the morning and just being available at all times. It's making me want to quit my job as well, which I'm sure will happen soon. After all, it won't be the first time I quit a 9 to 5.
I've been using the new extension recently, and it's pretty good. I think this is really huge, the fact that we discovered this new repository, and we're integrating it right now. Nang just got it to work. I reviewed a bunch of PRs today and cleaned up all the documentations, and I think this new integration is really gonna put us forward by a lot.
Anyways, by next video we might be able to launch our product. In the meantime, I'd like to give a special shout out to all the contributors over the past 2 weeks, especially Ender, Connor, Jaren, Alvin, Jadion, Celine, Shri, Ella, Medina, and everyone else. If you'd also like to help contribute, check out the link below and join our Discord. I'll see you there.
So this is where I draw